monster on the run.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Jason, that's Deacon. We are your internet dads. Unfortunately, Dave may not be here today as he has professional obligation. I think he said he had to attend a funeral, so that's no bueno. Morning, folks. We got some. I don't know if it's fun news or not, but we're gonna talk about what's going on today. See what's happening in the whole wide world.
Oh, sorry.
Morning, Deacon. Yeah, he was on the air.
Talk.
Professional 30-year DJ and entertainer right there.
Entertainer.
I've
wondered about that. Look, you want me to get real here for a second?
I want to get real. Can
about
we get
my
real
30-year DJ career?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, seriously, I'll get real with you.
All right.
The past 10 years or so, I have asked myself the question, because I have been on the air, a DJ on the radio, as well as many other things, MC and all this crap, for 30 years. And I have been locally famous for a lot of that time when I was on the big radio stations and whatnot, and still get recognized all the time. That's what the kids say, that I'm locally famous.
Locally famous.
Because people know me and they know me. And I don't know them. And for about 10 years, I have wondered, does my job make a difference? I dance and sing and hold out the coin cup. You know, I'm the little monkey.
Sure.
You know, and I dance and I sing and I hold out the little coin cup. I tell my jokes. I tell you stuff about music. I play music for you. And that's what I do. And I've had that inner question in myself for a long, long time.
Okay.
Does my job make a difference? Because I see doctors and I see soldiers and I see these people that are making a difference, you know?
Okay.
Like,
you can't measure yourself against other people.
I know, but you do. So
hang
on, let me get to the end of the story.
Okay.
So about 8 months ago, I get a request from a lady. In my 30 years, I have gotten literally tens of thousands of requests. Like, not even trying to exaggerate that number. No telling how many phone calls I have answered in my career on my job. No telling. And I'm not answering very many today because the phones are messed up. I was already told on the other phone that our other phones are messed up. About 8 months ago, I had a call from a request from a lady. I could tell that she was upset. She wanted to hear this particular song. So I was like, okay. And I played the song for her. So the next day, she calls me back right around the same time, requests the song again.
Okay.
Talks to me a little more. This goes on for months. Usually she was every day. There's been a couple of days when she hasn't called, but normally it's every day. I called her my request lady. She was upset.
Yeah.
Her husband had I told you about her. Her husband had unexpectedly passed. She was having a very, very tough time. They had been married 50-something years, and she was having a tough time with his passing. And she wanted to hear this song, One More Day by Diamond Rio, that talks about what I would do if I had one more day with you. And she turned around. You know, she's the one that messaged me. She's got my cell phone number now, and she messaged me and she said, I've been trying to call you all morning and I can't get a line through. So I called and it gives me the doo-doo-doo. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she called me on my cell phone. I talked to her. She was in a great mood. You know, she wasn't upset about anything. So I have watched her transform, and I've told her, I noticed that I made a difference in her. But what she didn't know is that she made a difference in me.
Right.
She answered that question in me.
I
do make a difference.
It may not seem like a big thing, but that is a rare gift, because in truth, you don't really know who you impact, you know? And maybe this one moment is just so that you can quiet that kind of doubt in your head, but you gotta, like most of, so, you know, like we talked before about, like, I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, and you got some kind of a job here and you don't necessarily know what it is.
Right.
And I was just talking about this in Sunday school class last week, actually. My do I have it right here? I have it right here. No, that's mine. Is this me? Yeah, that's me. So at our church, we filled out these things called a reveal card. I'm just gonna reveal the reveal card part of it because I got words written on it.
It's like a little card that. Okay.
Yeah. And and there's several questions. Like, when's your spiritual birth date? That is, like, when did you really start to believe in God? And where were you baptized? And what's your favorite scripture and things like that. And then one of the questions, though, is this: what is the most important lesson you have learned as a follower of Jesus? Right. And my answer to that is, it is not required that I understand what is happening now, nor that I know now or ever how things work out. When you are given a job, like when God gives you a job, you're a messenger, right? Like in some way. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're supposed to just meet somebody on the road and tell them something positive, whatever. It's not necessary that you understand why. It's not understand that you understand how it goes out. Like you don't need any of that. And all of that stuff just makes you feel good. You don't need any of that to do your job. And what you have to do is kind of like submit to the will of God and be like, oh, I'm supposed to do this right now. I'm gonna go do this. And you don't. It is a luxury for you to kind of know how things work out, and and those things work out like in a way that seems good to you. But you're like you don't need to know that. So like, I guess my point in this is that, like, it in those like times where you're like, oh, I don't know if what I'm doing is like everybody else is successful and I'm not, or whatever. Like, that's not the measuring stick. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you still may never know if it like helped somebody. Like, you don't know. You don't know. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So I guess pray about it. And and if you feel like, like there's also this kind of like conflict that you have sometimes of like, I feel like I'm supposed to do something, but I'm afraid of it or whatever. And like, I don't really want to, I'm reluctant. You gotta, like, if you got the feeling that you're supposed to be doing something, then you better do it.
We say all this because if you're interested in this topic, anyone watching, if you're interested in this topic, I would like to direct you over to Amazon for my brand new book, The Ripple, which is basically about this. It's not brand new. My latest. You muted yourself.
I thought buy Andy's books on Amazon.com.
Out of me turning this whole great conversation. Yeah. It's about halfway through the conversation.
I appreciate that.
You started
set me up.
I knew you'd appreciate that. You started talking about something. I'm like, oh, I wrote about this. He's right, because I wrote about this in my story, The Ripple. The story, The Ripple, is about a 50s, 60s-ish year old man who has been the guy that, the party guy his whole life. And now he's wondering if he did the right thing. And he's introduced, it's kind of a Christmas Carol-y type thing that I saw in hindsight. I didn't mean to do it that way, but he sees how the ripple, how one little gesture that he did 30 years ago affected so many people.
So what's your website to get to the Amazon store? Like what's your URL?
www.xj21-124x question mark.
No, sir, that's the wrong one. Nobody's gonna do that. We can't do it that way.
Go
buy Andy Rudd's books.
X211. Yeah. That's one of my favorite. Okay, so if you've got somebody that you can play this joke on, here's one of my recycled jokes that I've done over the years, and I'm going to share with all you people at home. When you like to annoy someone and you get their voicemail or something like that, just be like, hey, this is Andy. Call me back. 270-124-6444, extension 121, # 3412-4164.
Now at that menu, you need to hit 2. Wait.
Yeah.
On the next menu, you have to hit 0 because you got to go back because 2 was the wrong one. It's
And then
3.
you gotta hit 9 3 times and then hit the the pounds.
Jeez.
It's great.
All right, hang on. I have to reprimand my kids.
All right, go reprimand your kid, and I'm going to. I don't know what kind of stories that we have today. I haven't really been paying attention to anything because I have been busy and sick all day yesterday. I think I made myself sick yesterday by not eating anything, and my diabetic body was like, no bueno.
Yeah, why don't you put your already troubled body through extra pain by depriving it of calories and making it consume your muscle
Protein. I know. Look at me.
Good
I've
idea.
lost 70. Ashley, okay, so I used to be like 230, 240 my entire life. Like I would fluctuate between 220 and 240. That's where I was. And I wore a 36, 38 waist. 38. 39. They don't make 39, but I was usually kind of like a 37, 39.
Kind of a happy. Yeah.
We went out on the boat over the weekend. So last week, Ashley was out and she texted me and she was like, what size waist do you wear? She was going to buy me some swim shorts or whatever. I was like 32, I think. It's like, I think I wear a 32 now. She got me a 32 and they were too big.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I mean, they had a drawstring because they were like the swim
Can I
shorts.
just say, I both hate it when my wife just buys clothes and then I'm supposed to like try them on or whatever at the house. And whenever she's like, when it's like spring's coming up, she's like, hey, we got to go buy swimsuits. I'm like, I don't want to go do that either. So I don't want to go shop. I also don't want you to buy clothes. Basically, I don't want to do this.
What's wrong with the shirt with the holes in it? I mean, the shirt that I'm wearing today, I literally wore when we went to New York City.
Many times. Many times. That's 6 years ago, I think.
If it wasn't for free radio station T-shirts, I would be a naked man.
All right. So you want an uplifting story that'll make you feel better today?
Yes, I do.
I don't have that, but I do have a pretty interesting story. Check this out. There were some folks that were laid off from Microsoft. Microsoft announced that they were laying off 9,100 employees, which is about 4% of its total global workforce this year. And those layoffs include follow an earlier round of cuts of 6,000 in May. So that's like 15,000 people so far, and additional reductions in early June across several divisions, including Xbox. Now, Matt Turnbull, who is an Xbox executive producer, he offered this rich advice to employees impacted by layoffs. And when you say impacted by layoffs, that means like you don't have a job now.
So, let me point out something here that what I hear, because this is my job for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That word impacted was strategically chosen and placed in that spot to brainwash you, or to and that they don't even use the word brainwash, that they to selectively drive you to a certain position, to a certain way of thinking. So so that word should be fired or whatever.
No, unemployed.
Impacted. How does it impact you?
Yeah. Matt Turnbull, executive producer at Xbox Games Publishing Studio, wrote the post after Microsoft confirmed it would lay off 9,000 workers in a wave of job cuts this year. The post, which is captured in a screenshot by tech news site Aftermath. Let me run that down. Let's get the original. This is good. Here we go. Well, we'll summarize it and then we'll show. Well, I'll show let me show this. Presentinate. Here it is. So here's a screenshot of the post. It looks like it was posted on, what is that? That looks like Facebook maybe. Let's just read what he says. These are really challenging times, and if you're navigating a layoff or even quietly preparing for one, you're not alone, and you don't have to go it alone. I know these types of tools engender strong feelings in people, and I'd be remiss in not trying to offer the best advice I can under the circumstances. I've been experimenting with ways to use large language model AI tools like ChatGPT and Copilot to help reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss.
Is ChatGPT going to spit money out? That would help them cope with job loss.
He's saying, I know you feel bad. Why don't you talk to a not human about it? About how you feel bad. Maybe that'll. It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to get you your job back. It's not going to get you a new job. But it might make you feel good for a second. Isn't that helpful? Yeah. So,
Hang on. I'm looking up something here.
Matt Turnbull. That's not a good way to go, bro.
Wait a minute. Who is saying this? Is Matt Turnbull the author, or is he saying this to the people? Is he the one that's saying?
He is an executive producer at Xbox Game Studios Publishing, who is in the executive suite. He did not lose his job, but he knows a bunch of people that did.
That's what I'm asking. I'm just going to open up our friend Jimmy. Gemma. Yeah. I like to call her Gemma because I've got
Gemini as your AI.
No. I use them all. Mm-hmm. I use every one of them for something different.
Okay.
I ask Grok questions that I don't ask Gemini. Grok, I get to make pictures. Gemini and ChatGPT, no. Gemini, I do all. Gemini is my generic ChatGPT because if I start generic AI, if I start using ChatGPT, a lot of my shit I use the free one and I've got attachments to it, so I only get a certain amount.
Right.
So I don't want to waste it on like a question over here. Sure. What I was wanting to ask Gemma was that what Matt Turnbull from Microsoft's net worth is.
Oh, wow. No, I don't know.
Information regarding Matt Turnbull's net worth is not publicly available. While he's an executive producer at Xbox Game Studios Publishing, a division of Microsoft, details about individual employee net worth are not generally disclosed by private companies. Let's see. Let's ask, what is the general salary of an executive producer at Xbox?
Yeah, let's find out. I'll ask Grok. Let me ask Grok.
The salary for an executive producer at Xbox can vary significantly based on experience. The average is 100,000. Typical range is 110. Top earners, we could think that he's a top earner, is 182. Xbox Game Studio specific for a senior producer at Xbox Game Studio Publishing. Microsoft has listed salary ranges between 117 and 229 per year. So we could probably guesstimate that Matt here, if I was going to guess, at least 250.
I'm going to say,
I think that's low.
I'm going to say 150, but still 150 is good money. That's good money.
No, if he's the one that's out doing this,
I don't think this is the kind of thought and decision making that comes from a person that's a senior producer.
You're probably right. He probably on paper says one thing.
I don't know. This was
the point I was trying to make is that it's very asshole-ish.
Yeah.
To come out with something as eloquently assholey, ignorantly put as he did.
Right.
Because it was ignorant, but it was very eloquently ignorant.
Yeah. It was well written. I'm gonna guess that part of that was actually produced by AI. He probably was like, hey, AI, give me some advice to give people that lost their jobs. I don't want to think about this too hard. And then AI was like, how about a career planning prompt? That would be helpful to them. Sorry if you lost your job at Xbox. Also, I haven't owned an Xbox in a bajillion years. I have one in the garage, but it's at 360. I don't think they're on 360 anymore.
But, it's a big but.
Yeah.
But, there are people and collectors and people like that that would want that, especially if your 360 never got the red ring of death.
Oh, it did get the red ring of death. I had to send it off in the coffin. They brought it back, and as far as I know, it works. I don't know. I literally haven't even turned it on in years and years and years.
Don't put it in a yard sale for like $15. You know,
my Xbox is so old that the rubberized buttons on the controller, the little thumb buttons, these things. Yeah. This is not an Xbox controller. Yeah. The little rubber, the plastic completely disintegrated, or rubber, or whatever it is. It's completely gone. I should bring it up here sometime and show you. Hilarious.
That's great.
All right. So that's my so sorry if you lost a job at Xbox. I hope you follow anybody's advice except for Matt Turnbull, who's just telling you to talk to AI.
Just ask AI what you should do.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, that's not a good message, dude. All right. Let me close that and stop sharing that.
I hadn't really watched anything that's been going on in the news, to be honest with you.
How about this? We got a brand new study out with shocking results. Are you interested in science, sir?
Yes.
You're interested in science. Check this out. American kid. Wait, hold on. Let me get some sort of a prop up. We'll do Associated Press. Here we go. We'll do this. Shocking news from a new study. Get rid of the ads. Let me try again. God, more ads. Shocking news from a new study. American kids have become increasingly unhealthy over nearly 2 decades.
Duh.
More ads.
Derp.
Yeah. A new study published in JAMA Network warns that Americans' children's health has worsened over nearly 2 decades. Evidence shows that worsening adverse health trends among U.S. children over the decades linked to broader environmental, nutritional, and societal stressors as analyzed in recent data sets, not necessarily related to the fact that we've had Xbox for 20-some years and kids are... Analysis from data from 2007 to 2023 shows that U.S. children have 1.8 times higher mortality risk and a 15-fold greater firearm death risk compared to peers in other high-income countries. This mounting health emergency affects nearly half of U.S. children receiving chronic care, with declines in emotional and functional well-being, demanding urgent national action, and that action should not include just talking to AI to make you feel better.
So this is kind of duh. I mean, I don't know another word to really describe. Duh. You and I grew up as in the video game era.
Yeah,
that's what I call I've told Deacon, because Deacon and his buddies are gamers and that's what they do and whatnot. And Deacon is like, Deacon knows I am an OG original gamer. I started on the ColecoVision, and we played Atari 2700 was my first console, and then I got a 7200 and Nintendo. I never went the Microsoft route, because when Xbox and PlayStation both hit about the same time, I liked the Final Fantasy games, and Final Fantasy 7 was only going to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Right.
Just like on Microsoft, you had Knights of the Old Republic and you had Fable, Halo. Yep. Those were Xbox exclusives. Yep. I played Halo a handful of times, never got to play Fable, and thought, man, that was a groundbreaking concept at the time, because Fable was one of the first ones where you could be good or bad.
Right. Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, I actually played Fable. I don't know if I downloaded it on my Xbox or if I had the disc. I can't remember.
And I remember it was like one of these first games where you could, the choice you made reflected you're good or bad. And that was, Halo. I mean, still to this day, look how far Halo has gone.
Hang on just a second.
If he comes back in a Master Chief helmet, I'm going to die. I don't think he's going to. But I was a PlayStation kid. I played the Final Fantasy 7 was my big one. And I'm currently playing the remake of Final Fantasy VII now, along with about 2 others. So, I
I wanted to go over here and show you this because like I was such a fan of some of the games that I actually bought. Do you remember ever? I don't know if you ever bought these. Used to be that you would buy a book that would be a strategy guide to help you get like through not get through the game, but like get all the little bits and bits and bits. And I have the Mass Effect 3 like strategy guide book and
oh yeah.
and check this out. I have both the Fallout 3. I mean, this was the original. Like this game was just amazing.
Oh yeah.
Fallout 3 hardcover strategy guide and Fallout New Vegas hardcover strategy guide. So like,
you could. Are they old? Are those the old ones?
I've had these for like 20 years or however long these games have been out.
Those as well. People would want those. These collectors that collect stuff, especially if it's original. I had at one time the original strategy guides from Square Enix for Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, X, and X2, along with Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2. I had every one of them on my shelf. If that Final Fantasy 7 original strategy guide.
Look at this. The Mojave Wasteland. I don't even think
I'm not the moderator. I can't get rid of the freaking story here, so I can't really see it.
Oh. Let me maybe this and I'll make you a moderator.
Yeah. Now I can see it better.
Moderator. Check this out. This is all right. So if I step back, I still have like it's basically pristine.
See,
fold out map of the Mojave Wasteland.
That is probably worth some. I mean, collectors would probably want that. I'm not saying hundreds of dollars, but you could probably get $50 off of that. I have original Red Dead Redemption map that came in the original Red Dead PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, whatever it was. Red Dead Redemption. Was it 2 or 3? 3?
I don't know.
But the first time Red Dead Redemption came out,
other thing I want to show you.
It had a big map like that, and I've got that in my room.
Oh, I think it's downstairs. I have. Ooh, that's not good.
That's pretty cool.
There we go. Yeah. I also have. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Is silly.
Nobody's here. I don't care. Let's talk about video games.
I've also got down in my garage. I have for Fallout 3. For Fallout 3, I bought the collector's box. The collector's box came with like a lunch box, and inside was the game. And I don't know what else was in there, but there was a bobblehead. I still have all of that.
The little guy bobblehead.
Yes, the little bobblehead guy. I think they did it for Fallout, a couple of other Fallout games too. But
I was looking for this article that Ashley had sent me, and I don't know where it's at now. And I messaged her, but she's probably asleep or doing something. I'm not going to bug her. We were talking about that story, and it just made me think of this other story that she sent me, where they had done this study over the past 2 or 3 years, and they're saying that ChatGPT is making us dumber.
Yes. Well.
And as I watch, she sent it to me because I use it all the time. And I don't disagree with her, because I used to make the joke that, it's the joke that I made has become the truth. I used to make the joke that we have the information, our children have the world's information in the palm of their hand.
Yes.
And we're the dumbest people on earth.
Wow.
Because what's going to happen when I say, wait a minute, let me give you an example. What's going to happen when I say, JJ, you know the movie Memento, that really, really great movie? Who starred in that? I don't know, Andy. I forgot. What was his name? I don't remember. But wasn't that a great movie? Yeah, I don't remember. And then what's the next step that everyone does now?
IMDb or Google or whatever. You got to go look up Guy Pearce and...
So what does that do? And Joey Pants. Joey Pants is in that movie too. Don't forget Joey Pantoliano. What does that do to your brain cells? What does that do to your neurons? That doesn't give them anything to do. They're sitting on the couch, eating chips, getting fat, watching TV, because you're not sending them to work. You are Googling it. So the next time somebody asks you that and you're like, oh, I don't know, that's driving me nuts. I'm going to think about that all day. Think about that a little more. It's getting your neurons off the couch and outside mowing the damn grass like they're supposed to be doing. That's
No.
right, Andy. That's a good point.
Sorry, I'm listening. I have to stop this from happening. There's dogs wearing clothes. It's not right.
Happen.
No, because the dogs don't want it, and the girls do.
It doesn't matter.
No, it does. I don't want. Stop being rough on the dogs.
I'm telling you, I feel like a prophet here, and I swear to God, in 10 years,
oh my God,
you're gonna go, man. I wish the girls were dressing up the dogs in the floor beside me, because I've seen.
Hey, stop that! You're gonna hurt her. Cut it out.
Well,
I do not want you to hurt her.
I guess if you're hurting the dogs, that's one thing. But that's a good point. Okay.
Yeah, I'm being a little too rough.
But seriously, what I was getting at is, like, I see my daughters shorter and shorter and shorter amount of time every year. Yeah, so it's a blessing. I didn't see Kendra for 4 days, and then when I see her for 10 minutes, and she's bebopping around. She gets in the shower and she go, I'm going with so and so, and I'm like,
you're gonna have to vamp for a second here.
I love you. JJ is currently having to take clothes off of a dog right now, I'm guessing. Oh man, he's going to miss this. I'm telling you, he's going to miss it. All right. I don't know what to talk about. You can join our Discord server and talk about all the weird names of Kentucky places there are. Just screw this. I'm just going to have to move this and do this. Hang on. Stupid mic arm. Yeah, join our Discord server if there's anyone watching this after the fact, I guess. You're muted. Still.
We'll do crafts in a little bit. Oh boy. Sorry about that. Oh. So this isn't supposed to move this freely.
You fix your mic arm? Fix your mic arm. You pulled it off. I know mine over here. Mine has, I got to show you. Mine has 2 springs. It's one of the big industrial ones. And it has, oh, he's not looking. I'll wait till he looks. I'll show you around to the radio station. Little dude. Little buddy.
Okay. Now we're secure again. This is by Yip Yop, and it's actually a pretty sturdy mic. It doesn't have like doingy doingy springs, you know.
Oh no,
you have a pro one.
Yeah, this one's like a $300 freaking mic arm. So, and I had to, you see, I've got one of the springs off and taped to the side right here.
Yeah,
because it was too much tension when we first got it years ago. But now the angle that I have to set it at, makes it's just not. It does it every time. It drives, especially when I'm on the show, because I'm leaning back.
Yeah.
In my chair a little bit in the show. Yeah. So I'm leaned back more. If I'm on the air, I'm setting up like this.
Yeah.
This is how I talk on the air. I'm setting up so that I can move around. But when we're on the show, I'm chilled back. I'm like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah. Here, I'll show you this. This is a better one on Amazon. It has, I think, hydraulic or some sort of, maybe not hydraulic, but it's got some sort of tension thing here. It's pretty good.
It's not a bad one. I know that type with,
and it's really tight here, but the clamp right here, watch this. It completely lifts out. But that's fine. But the clamp to the desk, it just slid right off. Like I didn't have it tight enough, and then it fell on the floor. I was left.
Yeah, this is the kind that it goes into. Hang on, let me see. It goes into this rod.
Oh yeah.
So you see, it goes into this rod, and this rod is mounted with 4 huge screws to the desk. It's not going anywhere.
If you could get any one item to improve your radio station other than a heater for the winter.
A fireplace.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. It's funny you say that because I've got broadcast service worldwide here, and
Yeah.
this is a catalog. You know, it's a hang on, my hands are all dry. It's like a catalog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah, boards and mixers and all kinds of stuff like
all
that.
kinds of stuff. Microphone. This one is not the microphone issue, but when they send a big one, it's got everything in it. I like looking at that stuff. There it is. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I found a picture. I have this downstairs, including like the lunch pail and the little dude, and I'm pretty sure I still have this in there. The art of the Fallout of Fallout 3, and then I guess this was like little I don't know, cards or something. I don't remember.
Seriously, you should get that stuff out and clean it up and stick it over on one of your shelves that you keep your collectible type stuff, even though it's not like a big because one day
had it for years and years, but now the kids are in here, so
yeah. Oh well, one day it's gonna be it's gonna go up.
Love maybe
stuff, man.
It might be worth something now. I don't know. Can you still play an Xbox 360 game on a?
That doesn't matter.
Oh.
That doesn't matter. What was that called?
The utility.
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3
Collector's
Edition. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, let's look it up on eBay.
$144.
Really?
Fallout 3 Collector's Edition. That one is $315.
Collector's Edition, Xbox 360.
$300 seems to be the average price.
Ah.
It looks,
I'm just gonna hang on to it. You know, like I don't have the plastic wrap thing anymore. I don't think.
Hang on, there's no reason. If you ain't gonna have $300 to buy some baby food or something like that, some baby formula, some diapers, then put the thing in the garage.
I think this is the only collector's edition version that I ever bought of any game. Like, I'm so cheap. When I was in my 20s, or I don't know, my 20s, I guess, I would probably spend money on a console and maybe buy a game. But back then, games were like $50, maybe.
Yeah, $44, $50,
something like that. And this one would have been more, but I was like, the box is cool.
That box set probably cost $80.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably. And now it probably would cost $199.
Yeah.
I'm just here's where my left brain goes, my storytelling brain goes. Okay, here's where it went. Okay, real quick. In the future, you've got a young woman, walking into a pawn shop, and the guy's like, "What do you got?" And she's like, "Well, I have this thing from a video game that was my grandfather's."
Talking about her right now.
Well, one of their daughters is going to a pawn shop. It's like, "This was my grandfather's, and I don't know what it is. It's an old video game from some disc that we don't know what this does." And he's like,
"What do you do with the frisbee?
Thanks for coming to Pawn Stars 2120."
Right.
Yes, this was called a video game. This was called a compact disc. We estimate its value to be at $400,000.
How do you plug that into your mind interface? How do you plug it into your Neuralink? No. You had to sit in a room and stare at a glowing box for it to work.
What is this contraption?
Why would you do that?
Have you seen those videos? This is great. This is a great segue.
Americans used to use this to make their school children stupider and stupider over decades.
Have you ever seen those videos of those kids? Hang on. That don't know what things are. Like they bring a bunch of kids in a room, them like a cassette and a Walkman.
Sorry, I got a daddy. What's this question? Go ahead.
This is not the thing. Hang on. Let's see. Video of kids not knowing what 80s items are.
Have you seen those videos where they're like, they have two people stand side by side and like answer the phone, and one of them does this like you would do, one of them does.
Well, I can't find these particular videos because
Yeah.
it seems like everybody's doing it now. There was this particular set of videos where they would bring kids into a room and they would give them like a Walkman and a cassette, and then they would just tell them, "This is a music thing, figure it out," or a rotary phone.
Yeah.
Or a VCR or something like that. It's really interesting to watch the kids that not know. There used to be, I'm sure you can still find it. It's probably going to be published. Honestly, I don't remember what it's called, but it's July. This paper will be published next month in August. Okay. And as a radio DJ for 30 years, this is something I always looked for every single year because it's easy fodder to talk about on the air. It's easy fodder.
Okay.
And the paper was started getting written like back in the 80s by a faculty at this specific college, Brown University or whatever it was. This faculty would write this letter to other faculty members. And the letter basically was like, this incoming batch of freshmen, we're going to tell you about them so you can get into their mindset. This incoming batch of freshmen were born between the years of X and Y. That means their entire lives, they have always had cell phones. Like your daughter's entire lives, there's always been high-speed internet. We've always had people on the moon, Mars. They do not know what it's like to have a rotary phone. Think about the things that I love her. She's the greatest. She's the greatest. She's just bored, so let's just. That's good. It's good for kids to be bored.
That's what I keep telling my wife, but she's not hearing it. She's like, you have to have activities. I'm like, no.
Then okay, so then I know what you need to get for your wife. You need to look this up. There was a paper, a university paper that was published, and I read it. It was like a doctoral whatever that I read, and the whole thing was how boredom fosters creativity. And it was a whole paper about how boredom, being bored throughout history and everything, fosters creativity.
But that's what I was telling her. I was like, it's okay for them to be bored. They need to be bored.
They need to be bored.
No, she's like, yeah, but they need to be active. They need to be doing stuff. They need to have agendas. They need to be doing things all day. And I'm like, no, they can just.
I don't know where that stupid line, the idle hands or the devil's workshop, that shit probably come from some movie or something that people quote all the time. That's wrong. I don't buy into that line when people say idle hands or the devil's workshop. No, that's I don't agree with that. That's so sweet. That's a girl dad. I mean, that makes my girl dad heart thump. Right. Message Maggie, I love you, and message Kendra and Ayla, I love all of you. I want to hug and snuggle you.
All right, 8:48. Do any more stories that are super interesting? Oh, we have some bad news from the floods. They, like it's bad. Everybody's seen it. They don't need us to talk about it too. But
hey, I got. I'll give you and the viewers some. Oh, what is this? Some question. I'm going to let you choose between three pictures.
Right.
Okay. I'm doing my one-shot adventure this Thursday night at our D&D at the coffee shop.
Okay.
And my one-shot adventure this week is going to be you're hired to go look for this relic of this newly discovered labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get into the labyrinth, you realize that there's a locked door and you have to get these 4 keys. And these keys are guarded by 4 spectral wardens.
Okay.
And when you unlock this door, inside is this abomination from this other world that just consumes called the Maw.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I want you to decide on what picture of the Maw is the best one. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes. The answer is yes. The answer to your question is yes.
If you can use these keys to open the thing and then you see a monster, can you just like close the door and use the keys to lock it again and just leave it alone?
That's a good point. I'm going to design it to where that you can't do that now. So you
Oh,
have to fight this monster. But have you realized what this is yet? You're
no.
in a maze with 4 ghosts and a giant
Oh,
monster that
oh,
eats things.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm trying
Is
to
it
figure out which picture is
is it
best.
Gozer? Dozer?
It's Pac-Man.
Oh, it's Pac-Man.
It's
Yeah,
Pac-Man.
that looks pretty
So
okay. I
there's
see
the
that.
first one.
That's terrible. No, I like the first one better.
There's the second one. And then here's the third
Do you
one.
know that that one's pretty good? There is actually there's an Amazon Prime show
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
You seen
Yeah.
it?
No,
And
it's
there's
just coming out. It's fixing to come
yeah.
out.
No, it's out. It's out. I
No,
saw this
no,
months ago.
the video game clips,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
little
yeah.
video games? Yes, okay, so that clip of the pack or whatever it was called in that, I loved it. They're making a whole video game out of that, and that video game is being released next week.
Secret Level. The show's called Secret Level.
The show's called Secret Level. If you haven't watched the Mega Man one in there,
Mark.
after you get done watching the Mega Man one, you're like,
Yeah.
son of a bitch, I want a next episode. I
Oh,
want the
really?
whole
I
season.
don't remember that. I don't remember the Mega Man one. I remember
Oh, it was
the one with Keanu Reeves as he drives like a
yeah.
thing, and it's like, oh, dude, you just murdered that guy. You just murdered that guy for like, no, you had already beat him, and then you just like used your robot finger to like push his head. It was gross. But then the Pac-Man one is dark because Pac-Man's trying to like get out of this dimension or whatever, and it can only use like a person. It's
The Pac-Man one?
is that the Pac-Man one where he's
Don't say anything about the Pac-Man one. They need that's something they need to watch. Here, I'm going to bring this up. All right, and I didn't know this, but my video game Venom and them were talking about this just the other day. So let's.
Oh yeah, no, that's it. That little gold Pac-Man ball is not a good guy. That is a bad guy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty good, don't it?
I mean, I wouldn't play it.
What
But
do you think about the 2D side scroller games?
That's my problem.
Older video gamer. Okay,
Yeah.
you're about to prove a point that I made with Deacon one night when we were having
Yeah.
this very conversation.
I don't know how to explain it, but okay, so all of the new games that are like retro style, like the almost top down 8-bit type thing. No. And the
You're
flat
proving my point.
and the flat like side scrollers or whatever, most of the time no.
Okay.
It's not
And here's
interesting.
why I told Deacon. We had this conversation one night because I'd noticed this. And
Yeah.
I said, I went through the evolution of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I played those
Yeah.
side scrollers, all
Yeah.
of them.
Sure.
I played the top down.
Yeah.
I played all of these. Now it's hard for me after putting 1,400 hours into Red Dead Redemption 2
Mhm.
to go back and play Knights of the Old Republic, even in that style,
Mm.
or Grand Theft Auto 3, the
Well-
Liberty City one. But I've noticed that these kids, even Deacon 17 for the past 5 years,
Yeah.
he's been a side-scrolling type of. He played all the Mega Mans, all that crap.
Yeah.
Terraria. If you've never heard of that game, Terraria. God Almighty, I can't tell you how many hours the kids put into that. And let me give you another example. Minecraft is one of the biggest selling games of all
Sure.
time,
Yeah.
and it's the most blocky.
Yeah, but that's like that's like playing Legos. You
I
know what I mean?
know.
Yeah.
I know.
So
That's
the problem with a lot of these games is that if I'm gonna spend my time playing a game, it better be like something like immersive and really like pull me in. And like if it's like a game where you're like, oh, I got to read all these text prompts. I'm like, it's not that I can't read them. It's that it's always the same. It's always the same, and I don't want to do it again. So.
Why did the TV turn on when nobody touched the remote?
Well, I don't know, but turn it off. Just say, turn it off. You probably are sitting on the remote.
Sitting there.
Okay. Yeah.
I was
just go turn it off. You're not watching TV yet.
I was trying to find this video of this mod.
Not touching.
Okay, what's this?
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
No. But I mean, yeah.
That's a mod that they've put on Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
On the computer. I mean, isn't that crazy? Hey, I've saw to
make it look. Hey, you know that movie is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it's not bad. It was a money grab for Minecraft people. In that crap. That's just there. I've seen a video of. I love Skyrim. I've played the crap load of that.
Yeah.
I beat that like 4 times with 4 different characters. And there's mods on the computer that are like a pack that's like a pack of mods that's like 6 gigs. And when you download those mods and install them onto your Skyrim onto your computer, it makes the game completely unrecognizable. It gives your guy new moves, new skill sets, it just makes it a completely different game.
I've been playing. Okay, so I guess it's just
meeting 4 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta go. Let's get jokes ready. It's just as far as games go, like if it's not like I want a fresh experience, and if there's so many of the games that honestly it's not that different, and I'm not gonna spend.
Thank you.
Like
you're saying all the same stuff that I mean. Like, I agree.
I've never played a Dead Space, but over on Luna, I've been playing Dead Space. And it's overall a pretty like, oh, this is cool. This is cool, like aliens type thing. It's atmospheric and it's dark and scary. It's pretty neat. And like every once in a while you pick up an item and it's like, oh, it's a log and it's like a big block of text. I'm like, I'm not reading it. I don't care what it says. It doesn't matter. I'm not reading it.
Oh no. And when I went through Skyrim, I was the guy that had I was looking for like the Sky Wolf Queen Volume 3 of the books that did nothing, but I just didn't have Volume 3 in my library at my house.
So I would collect all the things, right?
Every place I went into, I was looking for Volume 3.
It's it's just I just have so little time that I'm not. You know those games where it's like top down, like angled, and it's like your little character runs around and go to this villager and like dialogue,
third person.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. There's not any of those I'm going to do.
Yeah. Stuff.
All right.
Let's do some jokes because you've got to go.
Dude, Peanuts, we're walking down the street.
Yeah.
One was assaulted.
Oh. That's the appropriate response. You want me to mine's just as bad.
I had to read it twice. I was like, what does it mean? Oh, I get it.
One was assault. I poured my root beer into a square mug. Now it's just beer. Get it now. Thank you. That one's for the nerds in the back.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow. If you're watching on Facebook, it's a replay because I can't stream to Facebook. I have to post it later. So, adios.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Essay for a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.